Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I wish to welcome you to this session where we are going to look at the database, that is number 4. Remember, we are still looking at Umta A levels last which has been done this year, that is 2025. So I will see DRE ICT practical paper 2. And now we looked at word processing, that is number 1. Number 2, it was spreadsheet. And the number 3, it was presentation. We also looked at it. Then today we're gonna look at database, that is the Microsoft Access actually. And here, this is they are saying database. The following are details of employees in departments in the Ministry of Education. Here we have the employee table, as you can see it. This is the employee table. And now here we shall have the school table. That means this database requires us to design two tables. As you can see, it is a two-table database. Most of the time it's always one table, but today's case there are two tables, which is a bit challenging, but I'm gonna make sure that it's easier and simpler on your side. So the first task is create a database education, create a database called education, and the two tables, that is employee and school table. Choose primary keys appropriately. So they want a database called education and the two tables, that is employee table and school table. And then after we choose primary keys appropriately. So this is what we're gonna do. First come here, you come and open our folder. Remember our folder is here, challenge 5007. And so far there are three numbers so far which we have attempted. That is goat meat, that's number 1. That is word processing, presentation, and spreadsheet. They are all here. So we're gonna add another number. If it was a real exam, these three numbers are already enough, but for the practice, I'm adding another number to make 4, even up to 5. So right now, I'm gonna add the database, that is Microsoft. You come right click and say Microsoft Access database. I'm gonna give it a name. They have told us our database should be called education. So that is it. I enter. I come and double click on it, open it. So Microsoft Access is opening. Once it's opened, we're gonna come here. We come to create. Of course, they have told us here to create a database, which is done, and then two tables, that is employees and school table, choosing primary keys appropriately. Then after that, we are going to come and create these two tables, education and employees. So they are going to guide us on how to do it. So I'm going to first come and create a table called employee. Then after, I'm going to come and create a database called a table called school table. So I'm gonna come here and click on table design. That's the best approach. You come and enter. You're gonna enter the data for employee table, so which is here. You're gonna come and enter this data here. First of all, on with the field names. These are the field names. That's what we enter when we come to design view. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna come and enter input number. Then we put the hyphen here, the way it is. We give it a data type that is actually gonna be text. We're gonna come here and put the name, because here we're gonna put names, and this is the most important thing. It's gonna be text. Then we come here, we put the tail number, and here's going to be actually text also, because we want the number to be easy to see. Then you put 6, it's going to be text also. We put here salary, the salary is going to be number. Here we agree with him, it's going to be number. Then it's going to come, when it comes to job, it's gonna be text also. When it comes to ministry number, it's gonna be text, because it has a combination of numbers and text. So we're gonna make our emp number be our primary key by right clicking there. Then after that, we're gonna save it as employee table, employee table. There's hyphen here, we put it there. Then click save. So after saving, it's gonna appear here on this toolbar. Then after that, this is what we have just done. We have entered all this under employee table. You can see employee number, name, tail number, 6, salary, job, ministry number. So we are done with our field names. The next thing we shall be entering the rows as, or what we call the records, as far as instructions are concerned. So here we're gonna close this first of all. So our employee table is done. Remember, we are still attempting this part A. Actually, this Roman number one, which says create a database and 2 tables, that is employee. We are done with it, so we are going to create another table which is called school table, and this is what we're gonna enter here. As you can see, ministry number, school, and location. Those are the field names we're gonna do. So we're gonna come back here. We come and click on create table design style. The first thing here is ministry number. This time around, ministry number, we enter it. Then we're gonna give it actually also text because of the data which is there. Then we come to school, we also give it text because this text. Still location, we come and give it text again. Then here we come and make our ministry number to be our primary key this time on the school table. Here we're gonna save it as school table, So once we are done with it, we're gonna click OK, and then it also appear here. So we have 2 tables so far, employee table and school table, and that means we have finished attempting our first task that was created. This task Roman number 1, which we have created a database called education. Employee table is created and school table is also created, and we have provided appropriate primary keys, as you can see it here. Our database actually is called education, as you can see, education database, and we have created employee table here, and we have created school table here. Don't forget that we have not entered there the records in the tables, they are just empty. So we're gonna go to our next attempt question, which we must attempt, which says create a relationship between 2 tables. Create a relationship between 2 tables. That's the most important thing. Everything which we are doing right now is the most crucial thing. So we are gonna come here to external data. Actually, we're gonna come to database tools. That's where we create relationship from. You come and click on create. Once you click there, then it's gonna come and add employee table. You come to school table, also add it there. Then you close. So there are many relationships. You can create one-to-one relationship. If I bring this primary key to this one, it's gonna be one-to-one. As you can see, one-to-one relationship. But I want one-to-many relationship because this primary key, I will explain all the time, but this is gonna be one-to-many because there is a ministry number here which I wanna use here. So I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna bring this primary key for school table and put on this ministry number on the other table of employees, because that's the uniqueness, that's the similarities or the relationship between these 2 tables. We have ministry number in this table, employee table, and we have ministry number on the school table. So this is a relationship which is called one-to-many relationship. The other one, which I've just shown you, it has, if I had brought this one here, it would have been one-to-one relationship, but I wanted one-to-many relationship because of this ministry number. So this is one-to-many. So I click create. So the relationship has been created, as you can see. So and that mark, then I click save. Then from there, we have answered that. Then enter data into the school table. Enter data into the school table. That's Roman 3. So we're gonna come here in our database. We come into the school table. you open the school table, then you start entering data. And what is supposed to be entered there? Of course, this is the school table here. As you can see, ministry number, we're gonna enter all these ministry numbers up to 9, the schools up to economics, and the locations. That's what I'm gonna do. So you're gonna come and start with actually ministry number 1. That is ministry number 1 in the school called the School of Social Sciences. School of Social Sciences. Then in the location of East Wing. Then you're gonna come back to Ministry of 2. That is School of Health. School of Health. Then the location of Western Wing. Then you're gonna come back to Ministry 3, and it is School of Education. School of Education, and the location is South Wing. Then you're gonna come to Ministry 4, and it is the School of Built Environment. School of Built Environment. And which location that is Western Wing. Then we're gonna come to Ministry 4, Ministry 5 actually. Then which school that is School of Psychology. School of Psychology. School of Psychology. Then which location that is actually in Mukono. Then we're gonna come to Ministry 4, Ministry 6, and which school that is School of Women and Gender. School of Women and Gender. And which location that is East Wing. Ministry 7, that is School of Economics. School of Economics. And which location that is actually South Wing. Then we have Ministry number 8, and it says School of Women and Gender again. Gender. And which location this one actually in East Wing. East Wing. Number 9, the last one. That is which school? Economics, or School of Economics. And which location that is Central Wing. This one is found in Central Wing. So our table is done. Our table is done. You're gonna click save here, so it is saved. And then we come back to our task. Create a data entry form for the employee table. Create a data entry form for the employee table. Hence use it to populate the table and save it as data entry form. So here what we're gonna do, we're gonna create a data entry form from the employee table. Then we use the form to populate or to enter data in a table. So that means we're gonna use a form so that the data which we have entered is actually reflected in our table. Simple. So we're gonna close this first. We also close our relationship. Then we come here to our employee table here. Actually gonna come to create. This time around, we are going to use a form wizard. Form wizard. This is the employee table which we are interested in. We take all. We click next. Let's use tabular because that's what I want. Next. Here we name the form as data entry form. Data entry form, because that's how they want us to deal with it. So then after that I click finish. As you can see, our form needs some modification so that this content is very clear. We want to expand where necessary, to reduce, to increase the size of this these shapes actually. So how we're gonna do it? You're gonna come to file, you're gonna come to new, to home. Here we come to view, the form view. We're gonna first put them in layout view so that we can actually input number, we can reduce it so that, because the input number is not going to be too much. Then with the name we can increase on it because we need a bigger space. With two number it can remain the way it is. The sex we can reduce on it because just a little. Then with the salary here we come and increase a bit because we deal with figures. As you can see, we also make sure that this can be seen, the salary. The job, of course, it's okay to be like that. Ministry number, it can also be like that. So at least this is a bit okay. We can also try to push this one a bit there so that things are a bit okay, as you can see. So everything is right now. Okay, so let's go back to what we call the form view so that we can start entering data. So bismillah, what you do here is start entering this data now. This is the data we're gonna enter. We're done with the school table, so we're gonna deal with the employee table. Oh, this is the information they want us to fill in the employee form, data entry form, and this data will be reflected in our table afterwards. So this is how it's gonna be done. We're gonna come here and we click, we start with EO number because that's input number. Then we enter the name, that is Mutebi Peter, the employee. Then we enter the tail number, that was 0752789678, and the sex, of course, M, that is male, that is salary. His salary was 30,000. Then the job was assistant. Your job was assistant lecturer. Assistant lecturer. And the ministry number was M003. Then go to the next one, that was E02. That is employee number, number B, number 2, and the name is Naku, actual Annette, and the number was 078658769. This F, because then the amount was 35,000, and it was also an assistant lecturer. Then the ministry number was M07, sorry. Then you come to another employee, that is 03, and the employee was Kola Mary. And the number was 0712634679, and she was a female, of course. Then the amount was 40,000. Then was a professor. and the ministry number is M03. E04, employee number 4 was called Kuma Sam. Kuma actually, sorry. Kuma Sam. His contact was 0754 84 34 87. Then that was also a male, and his amount was around 60,000, and he was called a director. Then the next his ministry number was M02. Then we have employee number 5, and it was called Nanu An, and her contact was 079 347 4679, and actually she was a female. She was getting 70,000. And then assistant professor, associate, Asoko professor, and her ministry number was 005. Employee number 6 is called Dembe Elek, and the contact was 0774 845 749. Was a male course, and was getting an amount of 32,000, and was called also an assistant lecturer. Good understand lecturer. Ministry number was M059. Employee number 7 was called Otai Said. His number was 0394 754 968. Course was a male, was also getting 32,000, and was a professor. And his ministry number is M04. Lastly, that is employee number 8. He's called Uace. Her number was 0703 44 5645. And she was a female. She was getting 45,000. Secretary. And the ministry number was M02. So here it is. So here we save the data, we close it. Of course, we check the employee table. It must have the data. So the data is also here. We have used the form as they have told us to populate the table, and that is how it is done. Then after that, we can close all of them. You can close even here. You can also close the form. Have the employee table, you have the school table, and you have that into a form. So we have all that. So we are still moving very well. As you can see, we are done with all this data. So we are about to complete the question. Here they have told us query the female employees in the Ministry of Education. Query the female employees in the Ministry of Education. In the Ministry of Education. This is very simple. So you're gonna come here. You're gonna get our database. We come to create course, let's use query design. You're gonna add the employee table here because they wanted only female employees from the Ministry of Education, because here there are certain numbers, so we shall add on the employee table. We drag and drop this, then come where there's 6, we just put there F. You get it, they just wanted female employees, as simple as that. Then we come to design, we run it. So these are the female employees, as you can see in the Ministry of Education. So as simple as that. Then they have told us to save the query as educ, F educ. So we're gonna right click on this, we click save, we type F, then educ, then you click OK. So our query is done here. Then from there we're gonna come back to our query. Another question: query assistant lecturer and the school they work for. The query should have all the fields available. Save it as assistant lecturer. So you're gonna come here where there is they want us and the school they work for. That means here we shall need 2 tables. Let's go back to our queries. So we're gonna come to create query design. Query design, we get the employee table, we also get the school table here, then close, as you can see. So they'll need all the data here. We shall take all they need all the fields there. So we shall take all this, shall also take all this there. Then we come here where there is actually they need assistant lecturers. So we're gonna come to where the job is, we type there assistant lecturer and the school they work for. Of course, you just put that one there, the school will come automatically. Then you come to design and you run it. Of course, here they will show you all the assistant lecturers and their school. These are School of Education, others work in School of Economics, as you can see, other South Central Wing, as you can see. So here we save it as assistant lecturer, then we click save. So we close this one also. Then we go to our next query, our next question: produce a report of quality work in 4 above with salaries in descending order. So with this one, we're gonna use what we call a query. Actually, gonna use what we call a report wizard again. So we're gonna come to our database here. We come to create. We're gonna use a report wizard because they need a report. But remember that you need it from the one we have just designed. So this is the table. Here they want you to select either a table or a query. So I'm interested in a query which we have just designed. That is assistant lecturer query. Then we take all. Once we are done taking all, we click next. Then we click next. We click next. So here they are interested in the, let me see the question again. They want us to put the salaries in descending order. So we're gonna come here and select salaries. Then here, instead of setting, click here to make it descending. Then you click next. Let it be in tabular. Then the form, the report. How do they want us to save the report? Lecture report. So we're gonna come here and type lecture report. Then we click finish. Of course, this is the lecture report. There were 3 lecturers. But remember, it is in what you call a portrait. Then you can just turn this one to be a landscape, so that all the fields can be seen or physical here. Still, if it is not easy seen well, we can always come to what you call you can leave what you call print preview. We put it in what we call layout view, as you can see, so that we make the things more clear. So we can reduce the size to this. We come where there is a name, you can push it here, you can push the names here. You can push the names here also, so that the content can fit well. So you can also bring this here close to the telephone numbers. Don't worry about that, everything's gonna be 100. Then also bring them close here. We get a 6, the 6 also brought nearer here. You come also bring this one here. Don't forget this. So here we are trying to modify the fields so that they can fit and they look nice. So you get your job here, so bring it close. Because the data is too much, but that is the way to go. You can also bring this one like that. Then we can bring this employee table, that is ministry. Can also be brought here. And actually, even others do like that. So then you can put it in what we call the report view. This is how it looks like. This is the report of the lecturers. Then after that, you can save. You can come to close this, save the changes. Our lecture report is also here, as you can see it. Then from there, add your name and the number footer to the report. Then after you print it out. So I'm gonna come back here on my report. I open it. Of course, I come to what we call design view. There is a footer area for the what? For the footer. I can try to put it a bit down. And then I'm gonna come and format. I wanted to put something like a label here. Let me just put a label, just sorry, it's a label, just I put a label here. I put my name, ISO 0007, and that's done. Then if I put it in what we call report view, it will be here, as you can see. So I can save, then I close. So that is it. That's the footer. It has been put. Then after, they want us to print the table, the form, report, and query. So when time comes for printing this, It is very easy. You open your table, you come to print. Let's go to what we call here doesn't show what you call a print preview with this kind of no, it will be here. Let's see here. You come here and you print out if you want to. If you wanted the school table, you can also come here, you print, Ctrl P, then you print. If you wanted the lecture query, you print it out. Duke females, you print. Data entry form, you also print it out. If it is lecture report, you also do what? Print out. And that's how simply database was, and has actually been the very simplest number ever. Here you make it a number. And thank you for watching. Thank you for paying attention. Let's meet in the next number. That's going to be our last number on this paper. That's going to be publisher. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.